Hello and welcome back to SciTi Tech. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this very simple 9-volt battery DC gear motor robot. Let's get started. And these are the items you're going to need to make for this project. The items you're going to need: a DC gear motor, which is the body of the robot. You're also going to need a 9-volt battery, a 9-volt battery clip, some shrink tubes, and some pieces of cardboard, which will be the wheels or the legs of the robot, which will connect to the DC gear motor. Now let's go ahead and assemble this project and let's get started. Next, I'm going to take the 9-volt battery clip and connect it to the DC gear motor. Take these wires, separate them a little bit. Take the shrink tubing, place them over the wires. And now take the wires and solder it to the 9-volt battery clip. And there we go, should look just like this. Next, take the shrink tubing and place it over the exposed wires. Apply some heat to shrink the tubing. And there, the wires are now insulated. Next, I'm going to take these pieces of cardboard and connect it to the DC gear motor. Now I could connect it to the center, but what I'm going to do is connect it to the side. Putting it in the center will just rotate, which will look like a wheel. Place it on the side will give it a little bit more torque, which will cause the robot to actually walk. Take a little bit of hot glue and place it onto the DC gear motor, and then connect it to the second dot on the side. Place it down onto the workbench like this, so that way the body of the robot can contact the table and then the feet can rotate, which will cause it to lift and move forward. Next, take some hot glue and put some hot glue onto the 9-volt battery. Put a generous amount, and now glue it to the DC gear motor. And to power it, just connect the 9-volt battery clip. Next, give some personality to the robot. I'm going to take a permanent marker and draw some eyes and a mouth. And this plastic piece that's sticking out is the nose. And there, the robot has some personality. And there, as you can see, the project is now complete. Let's go ahead and test it out. Plug it in. And there, as you can see, it is now moving. And you can see that it works. The only problem is that there's not enough friction on the cardboard, so what I need to do is modify the cardboard by adding some hot glue on the edge of the cardboard. And there we go, as you can see, I've put some hot glue on this, and now it has some more friction, which should allow it to be able to move better. Now let's go ahead and test it out again. And there you have it. Now you know how to make your very own 9-volt battery DC gear motor robot with using a few simple parts. And these are the items you're going to need to make for this project. The items you're going to need: a 9-volt battery, a 9-volt battery connector, and a PC cooling fan. Now let's go and assemble this project and let's get started. First, I'm going to take the 9-volt battery connector. This side's positive, goes over the positive wire. This side's negative, goes over the negative wire. Turn it over. And then solder the wires into place. Solder the positive to positive, the negative to negative. And there, it is now connected just like this. Next, put a little bit of hot glue on the side. And now take the 9-volt battery connector and glue it into place. Hold it into place, and then add some more hot glue to glue it all the way around the sides to make sure it stays in place better. And there, now it's securely glued into place. And now let's go and test it out. Take the 9-volt battery, plug it in, And there, as you can see, it works. And now see how strong the fan is. I have right here some cut up pieces of paper, and it blows away just like this. And there, as you can see, this fan puts off a nice amount of thrust. And there you have it. Now you know how to make a very simple 9-volt battery PC fan with using a few simple parts. And these are the items you're going to need to make for this project. The items you're going to need: a 9-volt battery, a 9-volt battery clip, a slide switch, a DC motor, some pieces of cardboard that are shaped as wheels, and this paintbrush, which is a perfect diameter to fit inside of this straw, which will connect to these cardboard wheels, which will be used as the axle for this toy car. Now let's go ahead and assemble this project, and let's get started. First, I'm going to take the DC motor and the slide switch, solder in one of the pins of the slide switch to one of the terminals of the DC motor. Next, take a 9-volt battery clip, solder one of the wires to one of the pins of the DC motor. However, polarity doesn't matter. Solder the wire into place, and then solder the second wire over to the center pin of the slide switch. And there, it should look just like this. Next, put a little bit of hot glue on the back of the DC motor. Next, take the 9-volt battery and glue the DC motor to the end of the 9-volt battery. And it should look just like this. Next, I want to take these two pieces of cardboard and glue them to the 9-volt battery. Take some hot glue and put 2 drops of hot glue going like this. Take the piece of cardboard and glue it into place just like this. And there, it should look just like this. And as you can see, I made a slight mistake because the slide switch is in the wrong position. Easy fix, just simply switch it. And there, it should look just like this. Next, I want to take the paintbrush and I want to measure the length of the shaft of the DC motor, and I want to cut the paintbrush to make it the same length. Right there is where I need to cut, and simply cut it just like this. Perfect. Just need to make some adjustments right here since it's flat. And there, that looks a lot better. Next, I'm going to take some hot glue, put a little bit of hot glue onto the cardboard. And I'll take this straw and glue it into place. Wiggle it around to make sure the hot glue has perfect contact. Try my best to make sure it's nice and straight. Add some more hot glue to glue down the straw. And as you can see, the straw is now glued into place more securely. Make some adjustments to the straw to make sure it's perfectly parallel with the shaft of the DC motor. And as you can see, it is perfectly parallel. And now take the paintbrush stick and put it through the straw. Very nice. And now take these cardboard wheels and glue them into place. Next, take a dab of hot glue and put it onto the dot of these cardboard wheels. And I'll take the paintbrush and glue it into place, making sure that it's in a perfect 90-degree angle. And I'll take the cardboard wheel and put it onto the DC motor. And now comparing the distance between the two cardboard wheels, and as you can see, they're a little too close. That's an easy fix. Let me show you how. Simply go and cut the paintbrush. And what I need to do is make the paintbrush stick a little bit longer. This one's too short. The longer one will work a lot better. And now glue everything into place. Add some hot glue to these wheels. And now glue them to the shaft of the DC motor. Wiggle it around a little bit. Make sure everything is perfectly straight. Make some adjustments to make sure it's perfectly in a 90-degree angle. And there, as you can see, that looks very nice. Next, take the paintbrush axle, put it through the straw. as you can see, a slight problem. The paintbrush axle is a little bit too long, which means it moves back and forth, which I don't want it to do. An easy fix, cut out some spacers from the straw, which is the same size, so that way it can act like a perfect spacer. Put it in just like this. And because of these spacers, it'll prevent it from moving around too much. And now take this wheel and glue it into place. And there, as you can see, that's a lot better. And there, the project is now complete. And there, it should look just like this. Take the 9-volt battery clip, plug it in, and as you can see, the switch is off. So now all I have to do is turn on the switch. Now let's go ahead and test it out. And there you have it. Now you know how to make a very simple 9-volt battery toy car with using a few simple parts. Thank you for watching SciTech. I hope you learned something new, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and of course click on the bell icon to be notified of future SciTech videos. To the next tech, goodbye.